What is up, guys? Zan from the Madden YouTube channel. Today's video, we're going to show you guys how to avoid bench press with a simple auto motion play. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Zan Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to take your game to the next level in Madden 21, check out my brand new Madden strategy site, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Game Plans is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every single Sunday in our Vault update, we keep you on top of the competitive meta by breaking down multiple tips, showing you how the pros run those metas, and most importantly, how to counter those metas so that way you can use or abuse it in online head-to-head gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive game plan. Currently speaking, there are the two game plans on the website, our Washington football team offense with over 3 hours of content that has not been patched, and our 4-6 game plan on defense, which has not been patched, which focuses on coverage out of the 3-3-5 nickel and various pressure packages out of bear front. So go take a look, gridirongameplans.gg, $9.95 a month. Otherwise, let's get into today's free video. We're gonna be talking about the auto motion and why it is important after years and years of irrelevancy. Now, auto motion has always been viewed in competitive Madden as a play that gives a number of tells. One, if you have good formation or playbook recognition, you see an auto motion and you automatically think of certain things. You start to think of, oh, okay, this is the auto motion slip screen in doubles, or the auto motion on some of those RPO orbit plays. You think, oh, this is a screen pass with a read option. There are different things that auto motion tells the defense. Now, unfortunately, those things are still very apparent in competitive Madden. If you're facing someone who knows their playbooks, they're probably going to be able to tell when it's auto motion. But right now, given the heavy bench press meta, this is something that you're probably going to want to add to your offense no matter what type of playbook you are in. So right now we are going to be taking a look at the Arizona Cardinals Y trips, which is a very, very good Y trips, one of the best in the game. And they've got a trio of auto motion plays. Now, the play weak flood in general is one of the best plays in the game. I know that K-Mac, who's a really, really good Madden player, one of the best in the world, he runs this a fair amount, I believe. But the play I want to talk about is Y shallow cross. And Y shallow cross is really, really good because if you can get a 90 deep route running receiver on the auto motion route, it is actually a skinny post. And skinny posts with 90 deep route running get better separation against man-to-man coverage. Now, when you're talking about the bench press ability, when we take the field here, we're talking about an ability on the outside here in press that is going to fatigue the receiver, meaning you need a free release. Now, here's the problem. The problem is that we are not able to actually, if I were to go ahead and call any other play out of this, I cannot get Hopkins motion snapped on the same side of the field. And that's a problem because now he has to go to the other side of the field and set, and now he's in a spot where we end up with press. Now, it's okay if you could avoid one bench press player, but the problem is right now everyone's running 2 and 3 bench press players. So you'll have a bench press where Ramsey is, you'll have a bench press right here, and most likely you'll have a bench press here. So for any 3 receiver set, you're facing defensive lineups right now that have 3 bench press players, meaning that at least 2 of the 3 are going to get pressed and fatigued out of plays. And furthermore, the bench press ability also fatigues those receivers on run plays, which absolutely positively needs patched, but c'est la vie. So we're going to go ahead and talk about why this auto motion works though. So when you talk about the competitive meta, you're talking about cover 1 press or 2-man under, and you're putting purple zones and you're telling the purple zones where to stand in the coach adjustments menu by, dropping them from 0 to 30 yards in 5-yard increments. So they basically say, guard the corner routes, or hey, guard, the deep crosser. But they play this cover 1 style defense. And what you can notice with this is, I'm going to show you how this works, is when you do this auto motion, I want you to watch Ramsey and I want you to watch this corner. If I can get onto him here, this particular one right here, Hill. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and get right there, Hill. So I want you to watch as I show this play art and I snap the ball. I'm just going to let the play happen. I want you to watch what happens to the press on the right side. Notice how it crisscrosses, and now both guys are free and unbumped. And you see like right there, if I don't get pressured, that's a 1-play score because he's got 90 deep route running on a skinny post. So let's go ahead and show you that again here. We're gonna play press, you know, purple. I'm gonna go ahead and spy the rush here just for a second. And I'm gonna hold up my play art. You see the swap? Right there, actually, Hopkins did get pressed, but you see how he actually cooked the man all the way over the top. Now, there was no pass lead on that. I would have pass led that left. I'm holding 2 controllers at the same time. Sorry about that. I'll try to do this here again. You would want to pass lead that away from the player. You see, we're in press. As you can see, this player walked up into press here, so everybody's being told to press on this play. There's a snap, no press animation on Hopkins. He's going to run away. Pass lead that to the outside, and if you can turn that up the sideline, that's a 1-play score. This might actually be a play that you swap over to the middle. You can actually run this in the middle of the hashes, or even run this with your trips to the short side of the field. But this particular play, this Y shallow cross, this used to be pretty prevalent across Madden. I want to say that now it's actually the only Y shallow cross in the game is this Arizona Cardinals version. But it is still a very, very good play in that you've got a number of routes that do get open. I do think that this dig right here is one of the better routes against man press in the game. I think it gets a nice release. It doesn't get super jammed too badly. And this route to the running back, if you have the running back mismatch or the backfield master, which gives you better route running, that little extra cut you see on his in route out of the backfield, that will gain separation against man coverage. Much better than, say, a stock in route, which actually just runs into your lineman. So, you know, that's really, really important to know here as well. Now, you don't actually have to run a wheel. A wheel route to Kirk is, you know, not a great option. It's not even a route that really beats man-to-man. So, in my opinion, you would probably go ahead and put Kirk on maybe a drag here, because what you'll notice is that you've got, I'm actually going to put the tight end on a different route here. Let me go ahead and just put him on. You could actually run him vertical, just if it's a cover 1, that way it holds the center fielder and keeps that safety away from the skinny post to Hopkins. You could run a route combination that looks like this with kind of like a meshing underneath with Kirk on the drag, Kenyon Drake on his route out of the backfield beats man. And then what you've got is kind of a, you know, a Mills concept, or actually more of like a Portland concept, or a pin concept with a post to Hopkins and an in to Fitzgerald. Those are usually good against some of your cover 4 style defenses, depending on spacing, of course. But the other thing that's great is because of the man swap, what ends up happening is with a drag to Kirk, I'm not saying that Ramsey won't still play it, but when you do this man swap, now you've got a guy who's outside leverage covering a drag. You see here how that gets Kirk wide open on that play. So you've got the ability to, you know, use that automotion to cause the swap, and thus no press of anybody on the right side of the field. So you're going to be keeping 2 receivers pretty well healthy. See right here how that swap happens, and you get both guys kind of open. And then you see how Drake beats his man-to-man on this route. This route already beats man-to-man by default, but if you have the backfield ability on this, you notice there's just a lot of junk to run through for man coverage right here. You've got a lot of pick action going on here. The pick between the in route and the drag, the pick between the auto motion, kind of a rub right here that causes the swap. So you see here how Hopkins is going to be wide open for the 1-play score. Let's go ahead and throw that here just to kind of show you what I mean. So this is going to be one of those types of plays that's going to get somebody out of this heavy press meta with the purple zones. So let's go ahead and kind of do that here. Go ahead and set that up. So again, the setup that I used was a streak to Williams, probably drag Kirk, just because you know that Rams is going to get swapped onto him and you want somebody that can beat the coverage. And then you're just going to run Hopkins over the top. So you see here, there's a swap, Hopkins wide open, and that contain just ate me alive right there. But you can definitely see how the route combination is developing there on that play. Let's go ahead and try to contain him, and they still got to the quarterback right away. So we'll try it again here. Do a setup that looks like this, kind of a running back slot mesh. Going to drive deep with the tight end. Yeah, and I mean, you can see how pretty much everything gets open against that cover 1 meta here on this, with the exception of maybe the tight end route. Obviously, Fitzgerald on the backside is a route that you're going to have some route running ability on. Probably the medium route running is what you're looking for on this route. But you can see how this inside release beats press pretty well. Now, bench press ability might do something different to it, but high release receivers on S posts and S, you know, basically the digs with the inside release, tend to get good animations off the ball. So this is a route that even with a slower receiver like Fitzgerald, who's declining in talent, but if you still have good route running and release, you can still get off the press here. And again, the most important part is just how everyone on the trip side of the field is staying fresh, because there is no real animation here. So you see how Ramsey is pretty well picked off this play. Ramsey gets really picked. He has no shot on this with that bench press ability. You see how both the running back and the drag are open on that play. The skinny post is open. You've got you got basically 4 open options on this play against the man coverage meta at varying levels of the field: short right, short left, middle of the field, and deep middle of the field for the one play score. And this all kind of ties in with the entire motion scheme of this. So you've got the play weak flood, for instance. I'm not saying that Kirk is going to be great on this play in particular, because Ramsey will be in a spot where he'll probably be able to jam here. But you start to get into how weak flood works, which is not something that I personally run a lot of, but you can see how this auto motion is going to free up, should free up. Yeah, it actually frees up both of them. You can see here how you can throw that ball really easily over the middle. So this little mini scheme in general absolutely kills the man press meta. I think it's a really good, it's a really good mini scheme. Cardinals book, of course, go check it out. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, make sure you guys drop those below here on the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe. We'll see you guys tomorrow with our next upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab, man. Good luck.